audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible and I can see your screen as well.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay, okay. First of all, sorry for the delay. There is an internet issue in my from my side, and just give me 1 minute, and I'm just sharing the screen. Yes, I'm just pasting the instructions. So first, go to my home page. Click on the machine learning using pycaret. So in the morning session, we already covered the regression part, and now I will just quickly cover the classification and clustering part. Okay, so just go to my home page, machine learning using pycaret. Click here. It will redirect to you my GitHub homepage. After that, just click on the clustering. So right click, open in a new tab. So most of the things that we already covered in the morning in the for the regression, 90%, 99% things are same for the classification. So I'm just quickly not executing the things for you. I'm just quickly explore the thing what exactly you need to do that. So first, just open the Python. Don't open in the Open Collab. Okay. Now, the very first step is to install the pycaret package. After that, we are getting the version. So that is 2.3.3. Now this is for classification. So multiple dataset is available. So we just import the pycaret.dataset, import get data, and I just pass the index in the get data. It will show you the list of all the dataset that is available with the pycaret. Okay. So class, we already covered. This is the same thing in the classification part. Next, for this experiment, we are going to work with diabetes dataset. Okay. So it is available at sequence number 7, diabetes. So my target, it contains 768 rows and 9 columns. Okay. So I just pass diabetes get data. I am just shuffling the data set. So this is the glimpse of the data set, and the last column is my target column. Okay, class variable. So if you download, just uncomment it and execute it. Similarly, this is step number 2, set up the variable. This is the same thing. There is a function with the name setup, and right now we are importing the library pycaret.classification. Okay, so class variable is there, and train size, split size, everything is the same as we run in the for the regression part. And the last part is compare the model. So class, when you run the compare the model, these model will run and evaluate on different evaluation parameters. Okay, and for the classification, there are multiple things like sensitivity, specificity, precision, recall, accuracy, AUC. Okay, these are the evaluation parameters. As it is similar to the when we are working with the regression, it contains correlation, R square, and different types of error. Okay, so now and it sorted out all the models in their increasing order of for accuracy. The model having the highest accuracy, it will come on the top, and the bottom is arranged in the increasing order. So I hope everybody understand. This is the same way, no change. Next, this is the same thing. We want to work with the cancer data set. So just change the data cancer and change the target class. So here target class name is class. So it will work for the cancer data set. If you want to work with the heart disease, the same thing happen is just read the heart disease data set and pass the target column name. This is the accuracy. So everything is same, and only I am just explain you what are the other things that is available for the classification. Second, I am just skipping this part. This is the same way we want to work on user data set. The same thing, data pre-processing. If you want to apply normalization, just pass normalization method. This is the same thing, no change. I'm also skipping this part. Outlier removal, transformation, PCA. Okay. If we want to apply two operations simultaneously, outlier removal or normalization. So these are the things that already covered in the regression part. Now next is, let's suppose we want to build a single model. So the same thing, building a random forest. ठीक है, हमने build किया and we are getting the average accuracy 75%. These are the other models that is available for the classification part, like ADA boost, decision tree, extra tree regressor, KNN, NBA, naive bias, and support vector machine. ठीक है, तो make the prediction of the new data set. Same thing जो हमने उसमें किया था. We are not making any change. Now same model load upload किया हमने, ये सारी चीजें हो गई. Now come to the point number 5. So this is the only difference. There are different other type of plots we can run for the classification model. So very first we are building a random forest model. After that, the most important thing is confusion matrix. So confusion matrix is between actual and predicted value for true values and false value. Class, there are two important terms, sensitivity and specificity. Okay, so generally people confuse in these two terms what exactly it is. So these are the evaluation parameter for classification, number 1. And number 2, sensitivity will define the rate of true prediction, means 1 ko 1 bolna. So let's suppose a patient is having cancer and we are predicting it as a cancer. Okay, so that is just that is the known as sensitivity. Specificity is different thing, means किसी patient को cancer नहीं है and my model is able to predict it's नहीं है, plus 0 को 0 बताना, that is specificity. Plus sensitivity means true को true बताना, specificity means false को false बताना. That is the only difference. Okay, now this is the learning curve. To plot the model, just pass learning curve, pass learning. It will give you the different scores as the number of input increases. So next is AUC curve. Class, this is one of the important parameter and we need to put in our research paper or graph or theory or report. So we just pass plot equal to AUC. Okay, so AUC curve will be plotted. Next, this is the decision boundary. So it is just a binary classification problem. So you clearly see it represent 0 as blue and 1 as green. So this is a boundary condition where the two classes are residing. Next, I am passing the parameter, so it will show me the what are the different parameter for the random forest. Okay, after that, feature importance, the same thing. First build a model and plot the model with the parameter equal to feature. Okay, it will show you the list of features in their increasing order. Okay, so this is the important thing that we need to take care for feature importance. So this is all about tree regressor. This is all about finding the feature selection using decision tree. And the same thing is tuning the parameter using tune model. So these are the different parameters and we tune it for using tune underscore model. And this is all about the tuned parameter. And before and after, what is the difference is that, so before tuning the model, average accuracy is 67%. Okay, after tuning, its accuracy is reached to 75%. So class, this is a very important thing. We may get the different accuracy while optimizing the tuning parameter. So here I am using number of iteration as 50. You can increase to 100 of 200 or 500. Then just see what are the different parameter we can reset. Okay, so this is an important thing. Now next, this is all about, I already discussed AutoML and deploy the model on AWS. So classification is almost 99% similar to the regression. Now let me cover the important thing is clustering. So just open the notebook in a new tab. So first of all, clustering is nothing but an unsupervised learning. In shortcut, I will explain clustering means it doesn't contain target column. Matlab, if you this is a data set. So age, income, spending, score, and saving. So these all are the features, and no target column is present. If target is not present, then we can only cluster them. Okay, now how exactly we need to proceed? Just let me explain. First, in step A and step B, we are installing the pycaret and getting the version. Next, get the data set of the all the data set available in the pycaret 1.1. Now come to 1.2. We are working with the jewelry data set. So it is available at sequence number 30. So that is a jewelry data set, multivariate clustering, and most important thing, target column is not available. So that's why it is considered as an unsupervised learning. So it contained 505 rows and 4 columns. Now next, so we loaded the data set for the jewelry. Next, if we want to download, so just save it to CSV and uncomment this file. It will automatically download the file in your local machine. Okay, this is the step number 1. Now step number 2, setup function. And in this setup function, first we are importing a library with the name clustering, pycaret.clustering. Okay, and we are just calling a setup function. So setup function is same in all the 3 libraries. If you are working with regression, classification, or even with clustering. So इसमें क्या करना है? We need to just pass the data set. There is no target column. Okay. So as I run it, multiple parameters are set. Okay. So it contains 49 parameters. Okay. Chaliye. Now, so this is step number 2. Ki we set up the parameter. Now next step is building the k-mean clustering model. So class, in clustering, there is no single model is available that run all the models in single go, because we don't have much flexibility to compare and get the result in a single tabular form. We need to build each and every model in a single way. Okay, मतलब क्या है? If you go to the home page like this, so I run k-mean clustering with no data pre-processing, with using normalization, using transformation, using PCA, using transformation plus normalization, normalization and PCA on different number of clusters. Okay, and for in the clustering part, the evaluation parameters are these 3 important parameters, but one of the important parameters is Silothi score. So ultimate objective क्या है? We need to maximize this score. Okay. Now there are multiple ways. First, we can get it higher by different number of clusters, and also by applying different number of data pre-processing. Okay. Now let me build the k-mean model. So there is a function with the name create model. We just pass k-mean, and after that we need to pass how many number of clusters are there. So I just pass 4. Okay, so this will build a clustering model for k-mean. So you will find we are getting the Silothi score is 0.72. These are 2 other parameters. Okay, so we need to only focus on Silothi score. कि 0.72 आया है अपना, but we need to increase that. Okay, so this is a very first important thing. Next, so we build a model with the name k-mean clustering model, and now let's assign the label to the data set. Assign the label to every row. That is the important thing. So there is a function with the name assign underscore model. Just pass the model name, and after that it will create a new column with the name cluster, and it will assign the cluster label to every row. So class, this is the important thing कि हमने जब model build कर लिया है, and after that we want to know कि कौन सी row किस cluster को belong कर रही है. So we can use assign underscore model as a function, and we need to just pass the model that we created in the step number 1.5. Okay, so I hope everybody is getting assign model will label you the clusters. Okay, now next, saving the result, download the result file. This is all done. Now next important thing, if we want to save the clustering model, this is the same thing जैसा हमने regression and classification में किया था कि क्लस्टरिंग एल्गोरिथम को हमने सेव कर लिया, डाउनलोड कर लिया, लोड कर लिया, एंड वी यूज फॉर द another unseen data set. Okay, now next and last part is cluster for the new data set. Okay, we want to cluster that is available for the unseen data, means a new data will come and we want to make it as a which cluster it belongs to. Okay, so class, it is very simple. Come to step number 3.1. So first we select some data from the jewelry itself. Okay, so jewelry itself data is some data set is also is available there, and this is the 10 rows. Now make the prediction on unseen data. So what I did here, predict underscore model, this is a function name that I called, this is a model name, and this is a data set. Okay, so predict model. Now this is a new data set, 10 rows are the new one, and after that it will create a new column with the name clusters. It labeled the data accordingly. So cluster 0, cluster 0. So this is a new data set that will belong to the new cluster 1. Okay, so this is an important thing, because building the clustering model is not a rocket science, but how exactly we need to use that clustering model so that we can use for the new data set. Okay, now next, saving the result, the same thing. First convert to CSV, and after that we can download it. So this is all about the k-mean clustering, but there are several other algorithms that is available, and we will cover in the rest of the part. Next is plotting the clusters. This is very important. So there are different clustering plots are there, like cluster plot, TSNE, elbow, Sloughy, distance distribution, and we will cover all these models. Unfortunately, the outcome is not available. But we can run and generate we can get the results. Okay, so I'm requesting all of you open in the Google Colab and run each code one by one, and we will get the result in this cluster form. Okay, now there are 2D plot, 3D plot, elbow plot. Yes, ये plot हुआ है. Now class, elbow plot is one of the most important plot that give you the correct number of cluster for the data set. If somebody asks how exactly we need to get the perfect number of clusters, because it is a challenging problem. If we need to choose 2 cluster, 3 cluster, 4 cluster, 5 clusters. So your answer should be we need to plot elbow plot. So elbow plot will find 3 आया है, so 3 is the highest score, and that is the correct number of clusters. Okay. Next, 4.5. We are just plotting the Sloughy score. So there are 4 clusters. That's why 4 different. These are the different graphs for 4 clusters. So what I did, plot underscore model name. After that, plot equal to Sloughy. So this is the thing that I did. Next, distribution plot is there. Distance plot is there. Now this is all about the distance plot, because there are 4 plots. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 plots. Okay, so few plots are not able. I have no idea why they are not showing. But distribution plot will show you how exactly my number of data will be distributed in different number of clusters. Like here, you will see 1 contain the minimum number of data points. 2, 3, and 0 contain the almost same number of data points in all these remaining three clusters. Okay. Next, for cluster. Now, one more important thing. This is the single complete code for k-mean, and I run it for different clusters. So let's suppose 3 clusters. I am getting the Sloughy score 0.73. For cluster 4, 0.72. And similarly, you clearly know that we are getting the highest Sloughy score when we run for cluster 3. So that supports कि elbow plot ने जो 3 बताया था, वहां पर भी हमें मैक्सिमम स्कोर मिला है. So that's why यहाँ पे हमने 3 के लिए रन किया, यहाँ पे हमने 4 के रन के लिए किया, and you clearly see that 4 के लिए lossy score कम आया है, 3 के लिए ज्यादा आया. Okay, so this is all about the clustering. Now these are the other clustering algorithms that are available. So we already work with the k-mean, affinity propagation, mean shift, spectral, agglomerative clustering. It is also known as hierarchical clustering, density based db scan. So we need to just compare the keywords with the k-mean. So that particular clustering algorithm will work for you. Okay, now so this is all about the clustering part. The most important thing is applying the data pre-processing, because data pre-processing will highly affect the clustering things. Okay, so let's apply the pre-processing part. So first I read the dataset again. Model performance using normalization. So class, just see here, I am doing nothing. I am just normalization equal to true, normalize equal to z score, and after that I am just plotting the elbow plot. यानी कि मैं particular normalization लगा रहा हूँ, and after that I am just plotting it. So you clearly see I am getting number of cluster as 5. So class, this is the difference कि without normalization में and with normalization में क्या फर्क पड़ा है. Without normalization we are getting only 3 number of clusters, but when as I normalize the things, so number of cluster reaches to 5. Okay, so class, till now if you have any issue, any question, you may ask in the chat also. Okay, now I run it for the verification part. I run it for cluster 3, and I pass cluster 3 equal to 3. I'm getting the Slothry score 0.69. For cluster 4, 0.75, and for cluster 5, and I am getting the highest Slothry score is 0.8. So that justify that कि भाई जो elbow plot ने मुझे बताया कि 5 cluster होने चाहिए, तो 5 cluster के लिए मैंने क्या काम किया, 3 पे भी रन किया, 4 पे रन किया, 5 पे भी रन किया, and we are just comparing the Slothry score. Okay, so class, that will clearly justify that कि जो perfect number of cluster होना चाहिए after normalization, that should be 5. Okay, so इस चीज को बोलते हैं हम parameter sensitivity. This is very important. Parameter sensitivity क्या बताता है कि how exactly you are going to choose the best parameter. So run it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and let's suppose you are getting the maximum accuracy as 6. So we can say that the best parameter value is 6. Okay, so that justification is required, because ऐसा नहीं है कि मन में आया तो बोल दिया. Got it? चलिए. So now again I am going to plot the 3D plot, but it is not available here. If you run it in the Colab, then you can get a beautiful 3D structure is available. Similarly, I run for transformation, cluster number 4. Now just compare Slothry score. So those pre-processing part give the maximum Slothry score on different number of clusters. That is my best cluster. Okay, so I apply transformation equal to true and transformation method equal to Geo Johnson with different number of clusters. So 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so elbow plot जब मैंने starting में plot किया था, तो we are getting 4 number of clusters, and you will clearly say कि Slothry score 4 पे 0.76 है, cluster number 5 पे 755 है, and 3 पे वो और भी कम है, 0.72 है. Okay, चलिए. Now again thing for PCA, for transformation plus normalization, transformation, normalization, and PCA. So these all are the analysis that we need to perform when we are working with the clustering. ठीक है, तो ये चीज आपको करनी है. You should apply. Now next part is what are the different algorithms are available. I already discussed. So ये clustering algorithm available है. So for this time, let's build hierarchical clustering. Okay, so these are the 3 lines of code. Okay, in which first line is reading the data set, next is setting up the parameter, and third word is create the H cluster, यानी कि hierarchical clustering. So we'll clearly see that my Shilothy score is 0.73. Okay, so we can do the same thing that we repeated with the k-mean, assigning the model. So it will assign the number of clusters to every row. Now moving forward, evaluate clustering. तो यहाँ पे हमारे पास एक फंक्शन है evaluate, वो 3D प्लॉट बनाता है, यहाँ पे नहीं आ रहा है. Now next come to 7.2. We want to apply DB scan. So class DB scan is one of the important clustering algorithm that doesn't require the number of clusters. On the basis of density, it will automatically create the clusters. So how exactly we need to apply that? तो जहाँ पे हम create model कर रहे थे, we need to pass DB scan. And amazingly, you will see all these parameters are 0. If, okay, all the parameters are 0. If anything you see like this, means this algorithm will not work for my data set. Okay. After that, use assign model to the label. So what exactly we are getting when we are using assign model, using DB scan model, you will see minus cluster minus one is there. So that is an error. Okay. If build model will not able to cluster the data set, then in that case it will assign cluster minus one. सभी को -1 आ गया. So these are some key points that you need to keep in your mind. If it is labeled as -1, then this model will not work. Okay. So class, I am requesting all of you kindly compare other algorithms. Okay, and just try to produce this type of results. So this is a complete comparative performance study of different machine learning algorithms with different pre-processing techniques on different number of clusters. Okay, so I think that makes some sense. We compare we apply different pre-processing techniques and we apply for the different number of clusters. Okay, chaliye. So that is all about the clustering part, and let's cover the last part that is related with the data generation using modeling and simulation. Okay. So class, this is a very important topic. Here I'm just giving you the brief idea how exactly we can generate our own data set, okay, using modeling and simulations. Okay, chaliye, let's move forward. So before moving forward, what is the difference between machine learning and deep learning? This is a very basic concept about what is the difference between machine learning and deep learning. So just focus here. In machine learning, there is a step known as feature extraction. So we need to extract the features. After that, we need to apply different classification or regression algorithm. Then that particular model will able to take the decision. But in the deep learning, feature extraction and classification is merged. And again, there is no explicit features extraction. We need to do that. There is no need to extract the feature. Deep learning automatically extract the features and build the model. Okay. And if somebody asks how exactly we need to deep learning and machine learning में क्या difference है? तो machine learning में हमें feature extract करने पड़ते हैं, deep learning में नहीं करने पड़ते हैं. Okay. Now, this is an important thing that I want to discuss with you. So there are three important terms that you should familiar. What is a structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. Okay. So this is all about, let's suppose, unstructured data means no format is defined. ठीक है. मतलब, let's suppose you have a folder that contains 1,000 movies. No categorization. 1,000 docs are stored in a folder. So we download all the books and put it in a single folder and never read that books. 500 images in a folder. So class, you will see in all the above example, no structure is defined. So that is unstructured data. Next is structured data. So in the structured data, it is stored in a well-defined format. So let's take an example of song that contain, let's suppose there is a folder that contain 100 songs. So every song is a ID. So every song have some language. What is the genre? How many number of singers are there? How many likes and dislikes on the YouTube? And many more property we can calculate. So this is a well-defined and well-structured data set. That's why it is known as structured data. Okay. And the last thing is semi-structured data. So in semi-structured data, let's suppose very little information is defined. Now, very little का मतलब क्या है? Let's suppose we have 1,000 movies and these are defined in 3 folders. Let's suppose 12 plus, 16 plus, 18 plus. So very little information is provided. कि हाँ movie है, but they are only available in 3 folders. Got it? Let's suppose there are 10,000 documents stored in 4 folders. Okay, let's suppose we are storing our result for first year, second year, third year, and fourth year. So for first year, I put 1 folder. For second year, I put 2nd folder. Similarly, for 4 year, I put 4 folders. Similarly, there is a 500 photos that are stored in 2 folders, male and female. So class, this is the very semi-structured data. Okay, because a lot of the people are confused. What is a semi-structured data? So this is the semi-structured data, means very little information is provided. So in all the 3, at least some categorization, some classification is already done for the data set. Okay. Now, we already covered what is the data format for the machine learning. Let's suppose there are 5 input parameters that contain different values, and there is a column with the name strength. Okay. So strength column is considered as a target column. Okay, so that is the format that is required for the machine learning. Okay, now the next question is, what is the biggest issue, hurdle, or problem in machine learning? Availability of structured data. Availability of structured data is very, very critical problem nowadays, because there are a lot of unstructured data is available, and we are not able to structure them because we don't have any domain knowledge to structure them. Okay. So now, how exactly we can generate the structured data? Okay, and the solution is we can generate the data set using simulations. Okay, now I hope everybody know what simulation is. Take an example: executing the real-world process in a control environment. Okay, so let me explain with the example. Let's suppose there is a dam, and I ask you to break it and record the parameters. Okay, so before deleting a dam or disposing a dam, so we need to identify the number of parameters. So for the dam, there may be different parameters such as height, width, water quantity kitni hai, quality of the concrete used kitna hai, water flow rate kitna hai, and how many number of gates are there. So these are the parameters that I should know. Okay, next example is car crash. Okay, so let's suppose Tata declare one statement that Tata Nexon is one of the best car. Okay, now to prove that theory, how many car crash they can perform? Okay, how many car crash they can perform? 2 up to 3, because one crash is nearly 10 to 12 lakh rupees. Okay, and that damage the car value too much. Okay, so but in a simulation environment, we can crash the car n number of times. That is very, very important कि let's suppose जो हमारे पास data available नहीं है, but simulation environment में उसको हम crash करा सकते हैं. Next example, chemical reaction. So class, in chemical reactions in the class 11th and 12th, we perform lot of chemical reactions. But all the parameters, all the experiment we perform under room temperature. But let's suppose I am asking you to perform any experiment under minus 40 degree, or let's suppose on different number of pressure. We cannot do that. Okay, so that can be possible in different simulation environment. Now the last example is, this is just a person shooting shooting another person, but that person is wearing a jacket. So it is nothing but uh, testing of a bulletproof jacket. And the one more important thing is that one bulletproof jacket is cost nearly 2 lakh rupees. So if you hit one jacket with bullet, then there is no they need to dispose that bullet jacket. यानी कि एक गोली 2 लाख रुपए गए अपने. Okay, so that's why these are the costly experiments. But in a simulation environment, we can perform. Okay. Now, if you go to Wiki page and you search for, if you go to Google and search for list of computer simulation softwares, you will find a long list of softwares that is available for the simulations. Okay. So class, this is the most important thing that you should know. So right now, why I am explaining you what is the use of simulation, because nowadays 90% of the research only focuses on very few domains like image processing, okay, NLP. Okay, so these are the only two domains are left. 95% of the research is focused only on these 2-3 domains. So this simulation software will help you to explore the other part of the things, other part of the domain, where we can explore and we can find and we can publish a good research papers. Okay, right now I am working on the fluid dynamics. It is a mechanical issue problem. So what is the flow of, let's suppose this is a bottle and this is a, let's suppose this is a pipe. What should be the flow of the fluid when it will be passing through a big pipe? Okay, so right now I am optimizing and generating a data set using different simulation softwares and collecting the data. Okay, now so these are the some other domains like molecular dynamics, okay, astronomy, chemical kinetics, okay, physics simulators, scientific prototyping, NS2. Okay, I hope everybody, most of you know what is NS2 and NS3. It is nothing but the network simulation software, okay, where we can generate a scenario for the different small scale network, medium scale network, or we can also simulate for the large scale networks. Okay, biomechanical, algebra, geometry, medical simulation, transportation, and environment planning. So there are a large number of domains are available where we need to explore for applying the machine learning. But the thing is that we don't have that data. Then we first go through and read the software, then simulate it. Now, class, this is very important to understand how exactly we need to generate the data set. Okay, so simulation software may be available in the form of library also. So if you are using Python, then you need to import them. Let's suppose DAM is there. And if you're using R, then library DAM. So by doing this way, we are importing the DAM library. And just assume there is a function sim that required 5 parameters, and we need to call the function and return to the strength. Okay, so class, in this example, in this data set, there are different 5 parameters that is having lower bound and upper bound, and the last column is strength, and that return me the strength. Okay, now every parameter is defined between some bounds. So generate one set of parameter. Let's suppose I generate a random set 17. So it must be defined between 10 and 20. Minus 0, minus 5, 0.78, 37. So this is one set of parameters that I generated. After that, I pass to the function and note it down. I return the value in the strength, and after that, we note it down. So this is one simulation. Similarly, we can perform another simulation, another, and let's suppose we make it 10,000 simulations. So 10,000 data मेरे पास हो गया है, and that is enough for the machine learning. Okay, so class, I hope ये चीज समझ में आ रही है आपको. If you have any issue, question, तो मुझे बताइए, because ये बहुत important चीज है यार. Not audible. Please check my voice. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible. I think there might be some issue from his end.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for the confirmation. Now, class, this is very important thing. Now, one more important thing. When I work with this simulation software and I study all the manual things, all the research paper that side the DAM library, and I get to know that whenever the strength is greater than or equal to 25, okay, the DAM is stable, and if less than 25, then DAM is unstable. So in that case, I transform the values greater than or equal to 25, I assigned as 1, less than 25, I assigned as 0. And just class, just see here, I just convert my data set to a binary classification problem. Okay, so now we can generate 2 research papers. So this is an important thing that you should know. Okay, so ये किसी को issue है तो please let me ask. चलिए, next package is Cantera. So Cantera is nothing but a chemical kinetic package. Okay, we can perform the different chemical reactions. Okay, so class, Cantera library is available with the Python with the name Cantera. So first we need to import the Cantera, and after that it required two parameters, temperature and pressure. So class, this library will help you to find out to execute any experiment under different temperature and pressure. So let's suppose this is one of the reaction and we want to perform it between under different temperature and pressure. So class, क्या किया मैंने? Let's suppose for the temperature -40 and 40 is the lower bound and upper bound, and for the pressure 10 is 50 is there. So random set of parameters generate कराएं. We pass both the value to this function Cantera. It makes some simulation and return the rate of reaction. Okay, so this is one record, another set of record, another set of record, another set of record, and we can put in the loop, let's suppose 2000 times. So we are getting the result. So we are generating 2000 data points, their data set using modeling and simulation. Okay, so class, this is the thing that we need to keep in our mind. Whenever you are thinking or you are listening or you are working with simulation software, you can generate the data here, and that data will be helpful for building the machine learning model. Okay, chaliye. Next and the last important example is OpenSim. Class, this is a very important thing. Just keep in mind कि ये बहुत जरूरी चीज है, बहुत important चीज है, ठीक है? So this software will help you to perform the biomechanical modeling. Biomechanical modeling means, let's suppose I want to work on my neck. So गर्दन की movement, shoulder की movement, wrist की movement, उठना बैठना, different type of physical activity we can perform. And OpenSim software आपने को वो help करता है. Now, so class, just see here. Let's suppose I am working on walking, okay, for my old age people. So as you know, my old age people means dada nani hai, dada dadi nana nani hai, and these people are getting tired or उनके घुटनों में दर्द होता है, they cannot even walk. So मैं कुछ प्रोजेक्ट पे काम कर रहा हूँ and I want to build a assistive device. It just बेल्ट की फॉर्म में वो अपने थाइस पे पहन लें, and that device will help them and assist them to walk. Okay, so ये मेरा ultimate objective है. Now first we need to install OpenSim, import करो, and let's suppose there is a function with the name OpenSim, and that required 4 parameters. And what are the different 4 parameters? Okay, what is the age, height, weight, and what speed we want to walk. We want to allow the patient to walk. Okay, so class, for the age, lower bound and upper bound is 10 and 100, height is 100 and 200, weight is 40 kg to 120 kg, and for the speed 2 to 4 kilometers. Okay, so these are the 4 parameters are required. So what I did, first I generate a random set of parameter. ये random set of parameter मैंने generate किया. I pass it and it return me 4 features. This is not a feature, this is just a force. ये 4 forces अपने को मिल रही हैं. Okay. Again different set of parameter generate कराएं. Again different features, different अपने को for my experiment. Okay, let's suppose 2000 data मैंने generate कर लिया. So class, in this example there are 4 outcomes. So 4 models should be prepared. Okay, input are same. So let's suppose 4 input, age, height, weight and speed is there, and F1. So this is a target, build one model. Second, F2 is there, same input, put the F2 here, build another model. Similarly, F3 and F4 model should be there. Okay, so now let's suppose a new person will come. If any new person will come, we will give age, height, weight and speed to the model, to every model. And then these 4 models will able to predict what are the force 1, 2, 3 and 4. I hope everybody understand why we need 4 models, because 4 output hai. Okay, and every model will able to predict the different forces. Okay, input same hai, but 4 outcome is there. Okay, next. I'm just skipping this part. And the big question is that if simulating is available, then why to generate data and use machine learning? Class, this is very big question, because simulator bhi wahi kaam karega. It requires some parameter, make some simulations and give me the result. And machine learning model bhi wahi kaam karega. It requires data and it will give you the output. So why exactly we are bothered about the simulations? The thing is that simulation took huge time. Class, for one simulation, it can take up to 1 hour, 12 hours, 1 day, or even 10 days. Presently, I am working on molecular dynamics that is related to the protein folding problem. So, in which we are model the protein. We are modeling the 3D structure of a protein, and for the one simulation, 6 hours is required for one iteration. Okay, let's suppose we want to make at least 50 iterations, so just cost too much time. Okay, now let me explain with another example. Class, just see here. Let's suppose this person whose age is 50, height is 102, weight is 60, and right now he or she is working is walking with the speed of 4 km per hour. But after some time, now अब मुझे थोड़ा slow चलना है. So let's suppose right now he wants with the speed of 2 km per hour. Okay, so this one parameter is getting changed. Okay, so if one parameter is changed, so all the 4 forces should be changed. Okay, यानी कि एक पैरामीटर चेंज किया कि अब मुझे 4 की स्पीड के बजाय 2 स्पीड पे आना है, तो एक पैरामीटर चेंज किया, तो these 4 new forces will be predicted. तो क्या करूंगा मैं, नए पैरामीटर को मैं सिमुलेशन को दूंगा, and let's suppose it required 10 minutes to simulate the complete scenario, and it will generate 4 forces. So what you can expect, a person should wait over there for 10 minutes. ये नहीं चलेगा. But if we want make the prediction through machine learning, we can get the result in the almost real time. So that's why we cannot build the real time application using simulators, because it took too much time. ठीक है, तो उससे हमने क्या काम किया, डेटा जनरेट कर लिया, and we should apply machine learning model and make the prediction through the model, and we will get the result in almost real time. So that is the main advantage, and that is the main advantage of building machine learning model rather than using the simulation for the real time applications. So class, I hope you understand it. Okay. If you have any question, please write in the chat. Now move forward. Now let me explain
So
one case. Yes, ma'am.
sorry, sir. So there is one question from Dr. Ajay side that how much GPU is required?
Uh, Question is incomplete. Could you please elaborate? More elaboration is required. How much GPU for what? Okay. Ajay, Dr. Ajay, could you please rewrite the question again? Now, take one case study. Let's suppose we are working on audio genre classification. Audio genre means what is the type of the audio. It may be rock, pop, metal, country, or jazz. So I'm just giving you one small case study where how exactly we are extracting the feature of audio file. So class, there is a ZTZen audio dataset that contains 696 audio files and stored in different folders. So there 5 folders are there, and every folder is labeled with like this is a rock folder, this is a pop folder, this is for metal, this is for country, and this is for jazz. Okay, and there is a Python library with the name librosa that is used to extract the features of the each song. So librosa library है वहाँ पे and it required number of features are 193. So क्या करेंगे हम? We just read one audio file, pass to the librosa, and it extract the features, and we note it down. Okay, so for every song, 696 audio files are there, and for every song, every audio file, 193 features are extracted, and these features are grouped in multiple groups. Okay, so total number of features are 193. Okay, so class, this is one of the data set that we created. ओके एक ऑडियो लिया लिब्रोसा को पास किया इट एक्सट्रैक्ट 193 फीचर्स एंड जिस डायरेक्टरी की जिस उसका फोल्डर था वही लेबल है कि ये पॉप है ये क्लासिकल है ये रॉक है ये मेटल है ये हिप हॉप है so my data set it is ready now we can apply different classification model for the audio classification okay so I hope everybody understand now let me share one of very important resource with you just go to Google and explore and just write pypi.org pypi.org class note it down pypi.org let me send in the chat also okay so this is a repository for Python packages okay I am talking about librosa okay but you cannot find the name of the package let's suppose I am working on let's suppose क्या बोले हम क्या क्या सर्च कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे let's suppose Google images download Google images so class this pypi.org is a repository for different Python packages people generate develop their packages and donate it to this repository okay so let's suppose you want to download Google images you want to download 1000 images of one item let's suppose bike okay so you are not going to do that manually right click save yaar kitna kar loge so we need some automated system so these library will help you to download the Google images download 100 of Google images वहां से आप डाउनलोड कर सकते हो okay so this is one of the very important resource so let's suppose if you are working in any domain you should know ki pypi is there any package already developed by some people that can assist you in your research okay similarly let's suppose you want to download videos from YouTube download YouTube videos. So you will find lot of packages. Just explore and just let's suppose this is one of the package that I find. Okay, this is the way to install. Just copy karo. So pip install YouTube download. This is all about the project description. This is the homepage for the project. Source is there. So we always focus on those packages that have some manual. अगर packages का manual नहीं है, then उसका कोई use नहीं रहेगा. Okay. Similarly, if you are working in any domain, just try to find and explore the packages that is available in pycaret. Okay. चलिए. Yes. So class, this is all about the theory part. Now, how exactly we need to apply the things. Okay. So basic idea about data generation is number one. सबसे पहले find out the suitable tool, software, library या package जिस डोमेन में आप काम करना चाहते हैं. Install it and try to run it. ठीक है. And सबसे important चीज है study the different parameters. Because without parameter, machine learning apply नहीं हो सकता है. Okay, and this is the most important thing. And try to generate a random set of parameter, pass to the simulator and record the value. ठीक है. I hope ये सभी को समझ में आ रहा है. Now, just let me explain with some example. तो सबसे पहले how to generate random parameters. So class, let's suppose there are 4 variables and every parameter is defined between some lower bound and upper bound. So class, this is my responsibility to identify the parameter and identify the random set of lower bound and upper bound. If I am not able to find out the lower bound and upper bound, just set it randomly. Okay, let's suppose 10 to 20 or minus 10 to 20, minus 10 to plus 20 or minus 100 to 100. Okay, so let's suppose these are the 4 parameters and I want this type of output. This is the random input, random parameter value. Okay, so how exactly we need to do that? This is a Python code. So first import random as R. I am just open a file in a writing mode, result.csv, and there are 4 parameters x1, x2, x3. तो ये मैंने file में लिख दिया है. After that, I want to generate 100 rows. So I run the loop for 100 times, and for every parameter, I am finding the random number between their lower bound and upper bound. ठीक है. x1, x2, x3, x4 जनरेट हो गए हैं हर बार. I merge them in a single string and I write to the file. So this for loop will generate 100, run for 100 times and generate random set of parameters. We can make it to 1000, we can make it to 10,000 also. And after that loop will close the file and finally done. So this will generate a random set of parameters. Okay. Next. Objective function. So class, objective function is nothing but a simple function is there that takes some parameter and return single or multiple values. So let's suppose this is a function that required some parameters and it performs some simulation and return me the value. But the thing is that for the objective function, we need to either maximize it or we need to minimize it. Okay, what should be the value for the parameter so that this function will give me the maximum value or maybe give me the minimum value. So in those, if you are working in any optimization problem, then you should easily correlate. Okay. So now this is, let's suppose this is one of the fitness function. So summation of x of I, mod of x of I, and the multiplication of x of I. And D is the dimension. And dimension means number of parameters. And every parameter is a range between minus 10 and 10. So how exactly we need to minimize this function? So first we need to code it. So class, I declare I am taking 2 variables for storing sum and for storing product. I am running the loop for dimension type. उनको sum किया, ये multiplication के लिए. After that दोनों को return कर दिया. Okay. Now, but we can merge both the statement in a single for loop. So S and P को multiply करके एक में return कर दें. So this is the way we can code any fitness function. Now thing is that when, let's suppose we define the dimension equal to 5, and these are the 4 chromosomes that I generated and I pass to the function. ठीक है, ये testing हो गया मेरा. Now similarly we can code for this function. ये हमने कर लिया है, इसको मैं skip कर रहा हूं. So let's suppose this is a fitness function and every function is defined between lower bound and upper bound. ये भी हमने कर लिया है इसका. तो ये चीज मैं skip कर रहा हूं, ये बेसिकली वही है, हमने फाइल में लिखते जा रहे हैं. And now अब ध्यान से सुनना. अब मुझे डेटा सेट जनरेट करना है इस टाइप का. So x1 to x8 are all are my input and target is my target column. So what I did, this is a fitness function that I need to code. ये मैंने कोड कर दिया because यहाँ पे sum है तो सबको मैंने sum कर दिया जो भी पैरामीटर x में मैं पास कर रहा हूँ. After that I am running a loop for 100 times. Same thing, generate a random set of parameter for all the parameters, finding these parameter to the fitness function. Class, this is very important thing. A fitness function यहाँ पे कुछ भी हो सकता है. Let's suppose you are working with the OpenSim, then you need to pass these parameters the OpenSim function. If you want to pass to the DAM, then you need to pass to the DAM function. इसी तरह Cantera था तो Cantera में पास करना है. Okay, done. After that, target values coming, merge them into a single file and just write to the file. तो इस तरह से हमने run किया 100 times and I am getting this type of result. So this is the important thing. We need to focus कि कैसे हमने टारगेट कॉलम को जनरेट किया है. नेक्स्ट, जस्ट लेट मी रिलेटेड विद द सम जो हमने अभी ये टूल डिस्कस किए थे. तो फर्स्ट वी नीड टू इंपोर्ट ओपन सिम फिटनेस फंक्शन जो मैंने पास किया है, जिसका मैंने नाम रखा है दिस इज माय फिटनेस फंक्शन, एंड आई जस्ट कॉल दीज पैरामीटर बाय एक्स, पासिंग द एक्स टू द सिम फंक्शन एंड इट रिटर्न मी द फोर्स. ओके, तो ये चीज हमें फाइंड आउट करनी है. दैट इज द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग एंड दैट इज द रियल रिसर्च. Next, sometime what happen, simulation result is stored in a file. यानी कि जो simulation का result आया है, it will store in a file. In that case क्या करने का अपने को? So let's suppose I call a function sim of OpenSim by passing the parameter. उसने execute किया and उसने को result file बना दिया. In that case, we need to read the file. वो result file read करनी है and we need to locate कि कौन सी मेरी वो value मुझे उठानी है. तो just read that particular value and just return it as a force. Right? And last thing, the same thing, let's suppose we are working with Cantera. तो Cantera में भी वही पैरामीटर पास किए, जो वैल्यू आया रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन उसको मैंने रिटर्न कर दिया. Okay, so this is all about the simulation part. And the next important thing is how to call the external commands. Class, this may be helpful for you. ठीक है, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है एंड बहुत हेल्पफुल रहेगा आपके लिए. नाउ कहने का मतलब क्या है कि हाउ एग्जैक्टली कॉल वन मॉड्यूल फ्रॉम डिफरेंट प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. लेट्स सपोज इफ यू आर वर्किंग इन पाइथन, सो इफ यू वांट टू रन अ कैलकुलेटर, so there is a function with the name system and it is available in OS directory, OS package. So os.system run calculator. It will run calc, notepad, ms paint. If you want to run another Python program, so system function is there that help you to run the program of different languages. Program also. Okay, now if you're working in R, then we can calculate, we can run the function system. Same thing with MATLAB and Octave. Same thing with C, C++ and Java. Okay. Now, how exactly we need to call them? कैसे connect करना है? तो उसके लिए just एक scenario आपको दे रहा हूं मैं. So let's suppose I want to download 100 images of bike from Google Images. So this is task number 1. I need to resize all the images to 50%. Task number 2. Convert all the images to grayscale. Task number 3. Zip all the files and mail to an email ID. So these are the 5 tasks जो मुझे connect करना है. ठीक है, and I want to make a automated package. तो क्या करना है? So let's suppose I generated one of the interface कि बंदा अपना बाइक का नाम डाले, अपना कीवर्ड डाले, how many number of images he or she want to download, just give your email ID and submit it. Okay, so this is the way you can generate one web service, and in the back end, this is the thing. So let's suppose you find one package from the pypy.org and you write all these files in one of the Python file automate.py. So import OS Python का आपका एक program बनाया है download Google Images.py. So it will download the number of images for you. There is a MATLAB program that resizes it. There is a MATLAB program that converts it to grayscale. There is a Java file that zip the all the images to a zip file, and we need to mail them. Okay, so this is the way we can automate all the things. Okay, now there's a one of the most important thing that I want to share with you. Okay, let's suppose there is a different programming languages and we want to share the result. So we can share the result by writing to the file intermediate results. So let's suppose read image extract the feature using MATLAB program. अब जो feature extract किए उसको मैंने file 1 में लिख लिया. After that I build a R program for machine learning by reading that particular file 1. तो file 1 को मैंने read किया, build the machine learning model using R, and जो result आया उसको मैंने file 2 पे save कर दिया. After that I write one Python program that read file 2 program and plot the graph and save in file 3. So we can share that, we can pass the different intermediate result written in different programming languages through files. Okay, so this is all about the things that I want to share with you. इसको skip करते हैं. This is another one of the automated library, automated task. कि 50 वीडियो डाउनलोड करने हैं, convert all the audios to video, cut first 2 minutes, merge into a single file, zip and email them. यानी कि just I want to make a mashup, जो songs का mashup होता है ना कि छोटे छोटे गाने होते हैं तो उनको automate करना चाहता हूँ. So this is the way we can automate the things. And finally I am done. So class, if you have any question, query, you may ask, please.
There's few questions which I can see in the chat box. One is from Dr. Ajay side that how much GPU for 10-hour training is required?
For 10 hours? No. यार ऐसा नहीं है, उल्टा बोल रहे हैं आप. कि let's suppose you are working in a image processing and 1000 images are there. ठीक है, and let's suppose you have a GPU with 8 GB of RAM. So there might be possibility it will run within 1 hour. Okay, but as the number of input data increases, the time taken by the same GPU will also increases. For fake data detection in simulation is better or machine learning model is good? No, you can generate the fake data using simulators. Okay, because if you want to define the fake data and genuine data, first you have the data set कि ये fake है, ये मेरा genuine data है. Label should be there. Okay, and ये चीज आपको करनी जरूरी है. No, I am talking about the RAM of a GPU. आपके सिस्टम की RAM it is different and GPU की RAM is different. अगर GPU की RAM अच्छी होगी 8 GB और 16 GB GPU की RAM वाला अगर आपका GPU ले रहे हैं तो that will be the very good option for you. What about remote sensing with CNN? आप कर सकते हैं. Data should be there and you can develop the CNN. TPU is hardware. Yes, TPU is hardware. Any other question, please? So class, if you have any issue,
yeah, so there's one more question from Taran
the chat
side.
also. Yes.
For any language character recognition, simulation is better or machine learning is better?
No, both the things are different because recognizing the characters of a language. So first you need to store all the characters of a language. Let's suppose I want to recognize कि it is belong to Hindi character or English character. Just I am taking a simple example. So first create two folders that contain all the images of Hindi characters, and next that contain all the images of English characters. Two folders are there. Just build a CNN model over on the two using two folders. Model will be built, and if you give any character, that will recognize, this model will recognize कि वो मेरा हिंदी का है या इंग्लिश का.
There's one question from Dr. Preeti side. Can you please explain forces?
Forces.
Yeah.
Let's suppose these are the two legs of a patient. तो कितना मूव करने में मेरे को फोर्स लगेगा, कितनी एनर्जी लगेगी इसको चलाने में.
Participants, if you have any other queries, please drop a message in the text in the chat box. There's one more question from Karuna ma'am, that what is data pre-processing?
Already we defined in the morning session that there are different pre-processing techniques like normalization, outlier removal, feature selection, applying PCA, dimension reduction. These are all the pre-processing techniques. Ajay sir, there is no need to purchase the TPUs. Right now, GPU will help you. Right now, TPU is not using in the commercial way, and Google Colab Pro version is there, and that provide you the good GPU. Okay, and you can explore. That will give you the good one. So यानी कि Google Colab का Pro version है, Google Colab Pro. So that charge nearly $10 per month. So if you don't have any GPU, because laptop कितना अच्छा ले लेंगे, you cannot run for 24 hour or 36 hour. Okay, $10 है वो, but it cost nearly 830 rupees के आसपास वो पड़ता है, because मैंने लिया हुआ है. Yes Syed. हाँ 32 उन्होंने just recently they increased the RAM to 32 GB, and there is one more option is available, Google Pro Plus, that costs $50 per month. So now one more last important thing for you class. If you are new to Python programming, so there is a very small tutorial, learn Python in 2 hours. You can explore this my GitHub repo, and there is a link. There is a there is a group is there, so you can also join that particular group. Chaliye, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I am done.
Okay, sir. So we are about to end the session. On the behalf of Computer Science and Engineering Department, Rajkumar Goel, Institute of Technology, the entire supporting team, our participants, and on my own behalf, I would like to extend my gratitude to our eminent expert, Dr. Prasant Singh Rana, for gracing today's session. Thank you, sir, for giving your valuable insights on the topic pycaret and data generation using modeling and simulation for machine learning. The session was full of knowledge. It gave deep insights into the topic, and I'm pretty sure the precious knowledge that Dr. Prasant Singh Rana gave us will definitely help each and everyone present here. Once again, I would like to thank Dr. Prasant Singh Rana for taking out time from his busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. And of course, last but not the least, my heartful thanks